Golden and amber lines paint across a bright and radiant sky. The air is warm and filled with sounds of love and connection. Take a deep breath as you try to quell the laughter that refuses to stop. It's that special time of day, and here we are once again, gathered together with the people we love. Is there any other way to spend a summer evening? Hello and welcome to the show on a beautiful and cozy summer evening. My name is Marina and I'm your host here on 87.7 FM. With me, as always, is my wonderful producer Blaine, who is currently buried under a pile of ruined textbooks, notepaper, and some old weird journals. Do you maybe want to take a step back and say hi, Blaine? They're waving, so that's a good sign. That's more focus from them than I've seen all week. Sorry, that probably sounds a little rude. I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but something's taken a twist with the ongoing conspiracy board, and Blaine's been deep diving into witchcraft for the past week or so. They're onto something, and so things have been a little tense as of late. Anyways, we'll probably get more on that after Blaine cracks the code. So let's move on to the weather for today. I don't know if you all noticed, but it's pretty interesting out there. The sun burns bright on a quiet day. Life and nature exist in harmony all around. What else is left for me to say? A gentle breeze caused leaves to sway. Hear the rustling strokes from this soft sound. The sun burns bright on a quiet day. The park is full of life and play. Emerald grass, carpets, soft ground. What else is left for me to say? Clouds are painted by a golden ray. The light begins to go down. The sun burns bright on a quiet day. The city adjusts to its nighttime way. Shimmering stars appear to be found. What else is left for me to say? It's a cozy night for all to stay. The stars overhead astound. The sun burnt bright on a quiet day. What else is left for me to say? And that's all for weather. Man, what a lovely evening out there. Stargazing is currently being set up over on Sunset Hill, as well as the big field by Cherry Lane. Be sure to stop by and enjoy this incredible moment under a sea of celestial bodies. It's truly something to look at. As for us in the studio, well, Blaine started putting up scribblings detailing something called the doorstep, as well as a ritual for sealing. I don't know what it means, and I don't feel like bothering them while they're in the middle of that. So instead, let's take a look at the news. Sheriff Hawthorne is being released from the hospital this week. After spending a month in there for rest and recovery, she is healed and ready to get back to work. When asked about how she felt or where she was for the last 5 months or so, the sheriff only glared into the distance while loading an old shotgun with a couple of shells. "The beast still lives," the sheriff said. It lurks and waits, but soon it will be time. Nearly 10 years of suffering. We're coming together now, and there will be blood. I tried to ask her what she meant by this, but she was really vague on the details. She only responded by loading up the rest of her guns and asking me if I had seen where a man in fog had gone. I hadn't, and she only nodded, as if she had an idea where to look. As if this were only the beginning of something very personal. So yeah, the sheriff is back to work, and it seems that she's super happy about it. Yeah, I guess that's what we'll call it. She's happy to be back at work. In other news, Darian's back at the station. He's still not off of paternity leave, but has decided to set up a pet bed to take care of his pups in the studio for the time being. Currently, right now, he's trying to balance a baby bottle on his adorable little lap to feed his children. Endymion and Lysynthia are covered in little paper crowns, and it's super adorable. As for Meatball, well, he had a crown, but ripped it apart in favor of a tiny Cossack decorated with a little red star. It seems he's taken after his dad's past attempts of communism. Anyways, let's move on. The city's historical society is doing a charity benefit this week to raise funds for Old Town. After years of wear and tear, the society is hoping to work with the city housing ordinances to restore the area to its former glory, which will also hopefully provide more housing and community benefits. In order to do this, they are hosting a festival. Attractions will include rides donated by the big indoor carnival that questionably opened up in Old Town a few months ago, a silent auction with items from the Historical Society, as well as the city's Pagan Alliance, and a bake sale. All proceeds will go towards making the older parts of the city a wonderful place to be. So be sure to stop by for a wonderful time and a fascinating look into the past. And that's all for the news today. I guess now would be what? Hold on. Our new intern, Mike, just popped his head through the door. Yes, Mike, you have a raccoon onesie on, and you're still required to wear it while you're handling mail. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules, I just enforce them. Okay, well, did you have any mail? No? What? Okay, so it appears I have an update on our previous weather report. This hasn't really happened before, but I guess I got a few details wrong. All right then, let's take a look at this new update. The sun burns bright on a quiet day. Joy and peace abound. What else is left for me to say? Hear the noise as old trees sway. It's an old familiar sound. The sun burns bright on a quiet day. The park is full of ghosts today. They run and play all around. What else is left for me to say? The sun descends its golden ray. Soon the lights fade from town. But the sun burnt bright on a quiet day. A shift from life to ghostly way. Faceless phantoms rise from the ground. What else is left for me to say? Now is the time for ghosts to play. All that's lost again is found. The moon burns bright on a quiet day. What else is left for me to say? Okay, here's your updated weather report for today. Be sure to take care tonight at the local parks. especially anywhere on the east side of town. I get the feeling you'll be in for a spirited surprise. Anyways, we're a bit overdue for an ad break, so let's move on to that. Yeah. Talk to you all soon.
Love takes many forms. You didn't want our kindness, so we improvise. Sorry for the mess. We did what we had to do. Now, will you calm down? Disaster has sprung. We all need each other. So let's unite. Cryptids with cryptids. Lovers with dreamers. We're all one big happy family in the end. A cozy congregation of Sasquatch. Come join us. We're a lot nicer when you're willing to cooperate.
And welcome back to the show, everyone. Intern Mike has yet to pick up any letters, which is bad because he's supposed to be filling in for Darian. On the bright side, he did pick up our takeout, which is great because I was seriously craving the spicy Mapo tofu from that tofu place that just opened up down Sparrow Way. So, at least there's that. Anyways, let's move on to this note from the sheriff's office. This should be interesting. So, there are forces in this world that go beyond our understanding. Some call it magic, others supernatural. It doesn't matter. The important note is that these things are unpredictable and incredibly dangerous. Fortunately for us, many have worked over the years to create ways of keeping some of these forces in line. First, select an area touched by the essence of the entity. Then sketch the lines and symbols of the diagram below. This pattern must be drawn exactly, etched into the area of an enclosed room. Once the diagram is drawn, simply lure the entity onto the diagram and light the candles. Within a moment, the entity is bound with chains and trapped in the room you've imprisoned them within. This method is tricky to execute, but highly effective when pulled off successfully. The imprisoned entity will be rendered powerless and trapped indefinitely until the ones who initiated the seal release them, or an outside force breaks the diagram seal. This is why, when planning to imprison an entity, it's best to use a locked room or place that is unlikely to experience outside intrusion. Proceed with caution. Any outside interruption will break the spell. Hey, Blaine, are you sure this came from the sheriff? This sounds like something that I'd find in that weird journal you're reading. Okay, Okay, stop glaring. I didn't mean it like that, Blaine. It just sounds a little weird, you know? Like, getting into spells and stuff. I know there's weird stuff in this town, but... Okay then. This is all from the sheriff, I guess. So here's a funny story for all of you. While I was going over that notes from the sheriff, another weather report materialized on the desk. Where did it come from? Why is it here? I don't know. But I guess we're still missing details on the weather, so we should probably go over it. The sun burned bright on a vivid day, but now only the moon can be found. What else is left for me to say? In the dead of night, the trees will sway. A sleepy dance goes up the town. The sun burned bright on a vivid day. A man walks quickly along his way. Walls of mist quickly surround. What else is left for me to say? The park is silent like the grave. There is no sign of life around. The sun burned bright on a vivid day. She's waiting there, scars on display. It's time for plans to hit the ground. What else is left for me to say? Two old lovers now walk away. Will they do something profound? The sun burned bright on a vivid day. What else is left for me to say? Okay, so it looks like there's fog forming around Old Town. Geez, I hope that this doesn't seriously affect the carnival at all. For now, we'll just have to hope that it clears up. Anyways, this is your weather. Even with all these weird weather things going on, the city still manages to flourish and thrive. Stargazing parties are going all across the city. People are gathered together with friends and loved ones to look up at the heavens and take in all the wonders around us. It's a beautiful night, and the stars are speaking. So with all that being said, why don't we take a look at your horoscopes for this evening? Today is the moment she's waited for since the moment they first met. Every single conversation, every little joke, every single second that made you want to hold on. Everything had been built to this one single moment. Everything was the preamble to this one spectacular climax. A nervous hand brushes a piece of hair out of her face. She stares into the mirror and does one final sweep, making sure everything is in line. For a brief moment, there is panic. What if it's too much? What if it's not enough? What if everything falls apart? She pauses in her fears, but then takes a deep breath. She remembers who is out there, waiting for her. She remembers that today is the day she's been waiting for since the first moment they met. How could anything possibly go wrong? She steadies herself, and with one last breath, it is time. The hallway is dark in the late hours of the night, almost staticky in a way. She passes by row after row of empty office space, shoes clicking against the tiles as shadows dance in the dim and sickly lighting. At the end of the hall sits a large office, lit with bright and radiant light that seems to pierce every inch of her soul. She takes a deep breath, armed with a tape recorder in one hand and a folder of evidence in the other. Today is the day, the moment she's waited for since the first moment they've met. She opens the door, and there... That's where it cuts off. I mean, nothing interesting after that part. But there you have it, I guess. This is all that the stars have to say to us. Nothing else. Nothing worth mentioning at all. So, yeah. Sorry, that feels a little underwhelming. Yeah. Let's move on. Alright, so apparently, intern Mike is with us once again. And once again, he doesn't have letters. You're really not doing good at filling in for the raccoon here, Mike. No, instead, what Mike has for me is another weather report. Apparently, the previous one wasn't the right weather report. This, you know what? Show me where you're getting these, Mike. Obviously, something's going on, and we're going to have to figure this out. As for the rest of you, well, please enjoy this pre-recorded message. There's a place over by the stormy sea where all the green grass grows, where we can be as we want to be, and all the world will never know. Look at the waves of the stormy sea. Feel the salty spray on your face. Look at the waves, so special to me. Look at the cliff where I vanished with no trace. There are feelings now within the air. Drop from this place, leave behind every care. Alright, so I think we figured it out. Somebody has messed with the filing system that we had a situation. Reports got mixed in with archive notes, and there are major holes where there shouldn't be in our information. Anyways, the point is that between the combined powers of me, Blaine, and intern Mike, we have all figured it out. Hopefully, at least. Anyways, here it is, the final and most correct weather report for today. The world will shift from night to day. It was never deep nor profound. What else is left for me to say? We shift and change along the way, sometimes so small it can't be found. The world will shift from night to day. Sometimes the change is a flashing craze. Everything's shaken in ways that astound. What else is left for me to say? We grow and change, but it's okay. We're all still beings upon the ground. The world will shift from night to day. Sometimes our change feels like we betray. Sometimes it hurts to turn around. What else is left for me to say? We can shape ourselves like piles of clay and give life to a lifeless mound. The world will shift from night to day. What else is left for me to say? I like that. You know, life is unpredictable. Things are always changing. We're always shifting. Just like the weather. Nothing's really stuck in a static position. In some ways, that's terrifying. But in others, there's nothing more freeing than that simple ability to change. Wherever you are now, whatever you're doing, you're changing bit by bit. We are masters in our own right, with the power to shape worlds and lives in small and big ways. So take a deep breath. Take a step towards the things you want to do, or the person you want to be. It's all in your power to change. So let's make the most of it and enjoy the time we have here. Now, with all that being said, there's someone in here that is changing and growing all of the time. Blaine, go open that door. Our special guest just texted and he's here. Don't give me that look. You're going to like it. Trust me.
Asa, what are you doing here? What the? Oh, jeez, wow. This cake looks great. Marina, did you seriously plan all of this?
Happy birthday, Blaine. We're proud of you for making it this far. Anyways, before Issa gets the chance to gush romantically, I'm gonna take the cake. Yeah, no, I'll take care of this while you two are doing whatever you do in that corner. And well, as for the rest of you, stay tuned next for a constant and shifting world. We can't always predict what'll happen, but we can celebrate the good moments as they come. And until we meet again, I hope you all have a good night.
Dream Girl City is a production by NJ Schulze. It was written, produced, and acted by NJ Schulze. Much of the music today was provided by Stephen Oxen. Specific song names below in the credits. The poem for today was Stormy Sea by NJ Schulze. Have a question? Have a comment? Have an undying fealty that you want to swear to the raccoon overlords? Email this and more to DreamGirlCityRadio@gmail.com. Or look us up on social media. Everything that you guys say and spread helps to get us out there to the world to see. Thank you so much to all of those who support us and are listening eagerly for whatever comes next. Stay tuned for the next adventure, and until the time comes, remember, there is so much fear waiting within the ones you hold dear. I will not be elaborating.
Oh my gosh, Rex Adams. Dude, Marina, did we ever think to ask Rex about who came here at first? Oh my gosh, I can't believe this never occurred to me. Okay, next time you see him, we gotta ask him. Marina? Marina? Huh. I guess she went home. Well, time to start cleaning up. What a day. What a day. Well, we may not have all the answers, but I feel like I'm starting to get somewhere. Now if I can just figure out what this doorstep thing is. Oh well, we'll get to it when we get to it. I should probably lock up.